I think most things in life are gray. People like clean moral lines, something they can point to and say, this is right or this is wrong. But most of the time, it isn't that simple. A lot of it is left up to the person, up to what they believe is best for themselves. I think I started seeing the world this way in my freshman year of high school when I took psychology. We learned a lot, but one idea stuck with me more than the rest. Everyone experiences reality differently because everyone's brains interprets the world differently. What you see, what you hear, what you feel, none of it is neutral. It all passes through your own mind, your own experiences before it becomes real. That means your reality isn't the same as someone else's. And that's kind of unsettling, but kind of beautiful too. It's strange to think that everyone around you is living a life just as complex and overwhelming as yours, moving through the same world, but experiencing it in an entirely different way. Same streets, same sky, same time, completely different realities. That thought still catches me off guard. And because of that, I don't think life comes with many absolutes. There are some, of course, things that feel universally wrong: murder, rape, violence that steals someone else's agency. Those lines are clear. But the smaller things, the choices people make every day, most that exist in gray. Not right or wrong, just human. Just people doing the best they can with the version of reality they've been given. And I think this all circles back to one thing in particular, which is politics. As a young man growing up in the United States, politics is a very talked about issue. And for me, I don't really like to talk about it. Not because I am not political, I do think I am. The problem is people are so ignorant when talking, when debating, and when just encountering somebody with a different viewpoint. I'm a pretty open-minded guy, at least I say that, and I do my best just to kind of judge and let people experience their own world for themselves, right? That's what I believe in. People come from all different types of backgrounds and whatnot, so they have a different experience than mine. I cannot make them believe in the same stuff I do, so I'm not going to shame them for doing that. Yet, we see a lot now that people are getting shamed for what they believe in, even if it's just slightly disagree with somebody else. And the discourse of modern politics, especially here in the United States, very heartbreaking to see. And actually makes me want to not talk about politics at all. There's issues in this country that need to be addressed. But there's a certain way to go about it. And the way that we're going about it, and the way that we're arguing with each other, dividing with each other, is just not helping anything. And it's only going to lead to more chaos and more division within the United States. So, I just don't talk about it anymore. People get super mad about it. People get super angry about it. And I just don't want to deal with that. Because that only leads to one thing: hatred. And hate leads to, well, we've all seen what hate leads to. And it gets pretty sad. So, is that. I'm also a Christian. So, it there's a lot of discourse around that as well. And I'm not someone who's going to exactly shame somebody for what they believe in, right? I think many Christians can be very judgy, very, judgy, right? And I don't think that's our place. If another brother and sister in Christ wants or does sin, right, we should call them out for that. But why should we judge somebody based off if they don't believe in what we believe in? Why would I judge my friend who doesn't know Christ on the teachings of Christ? He doesn't know him, so why would he follow them? That makes no sense to me. Problem is, people still do. And the biggest Christians I've seen really, really judge a lot. And it's unfortunate because many people turn away from Christianity. Many people turn away from God and from Christ because people within the church hurt them. And that's really unfortunate. And now you see a lot of discourse about how bad Christianity is and how bad these people within it are. And that's unfortunate. We're actively not letting people in. We're actively shutting people out. And we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't. Yet, because we want to judge, we want to make ourselves feel more holy, we want to make ourselves feel better, we judge other people. And we kick them out. And we make them not want to come back. And I've done this. I'm not trying to make myself sound more holy, but yeah. And I think we also have to realize about this that many people, again, grew up with their own realities, with their own experiences, right? People are going to think different than us. People are going to be different than us. And that's fine. That's fine, right? But if these people believe in different things, then why are we going to hate on them? Why are we going to judge them? I have a Muslim friend. I know Jewish friends, right? I'm not going to judge them for what Christ taught because they don't know Christ. And yeah, there's some things I disagree with them with, but there's also some things that they just disagree with me with. But is that going to cause to division? Is that going to cause to us not be friends? No, because that's just stupid and ignorant. We have to become more accepting of people with different beliefs, right? Here in the United States, there's a huge talk about immigration, right? And as someone whose family immigrated over here into the United States, this is this is a big topic for me. I'm fine with immigrants. In fact, I want immigrants because this country is amazing and people should have the opportunity to do it. But I think many people, especially on the conservative side, which sucks because I'm also on the conservative side, just don't want them and they're scared when they come over here. Are some of these people scary? Sure. But just because you're going to hear this term a lot, military-aged men, right? And they can use this term to scare people, the same way the left uses Nazi or fascist to scare away Republicans or conservatives. And we want to call ourselves the better party when we actively do what the left does, and that's just not right at all. Some of these people are bad people, and that's why we have immigration. That's why we have ICE. But not all these people are bad. And in fact, the issue is the process of becoming a citizen anyway, which both the Trump administration and Biden administration have neglected. And it's sad. But I think we come over here, I think the immigrants come over here and we get scared because, they have different beliefs than us. They have different values than us, which is true. And there is a conversation to be held about how can a country claim to be a country when everybody in it shares different values. And I think that's a fair argument. But we shouldn't just close them out immediately. We still should have people assimilate into United States culture. The founding principles that we found this country with 300 years ago. That's what citizenship tests should be. We shouldn't have these people come over here and immediately just put their ideas into practice. I do believe that Islam, it's harder here in the United States, here in the West. Is all of it? No. But there definitely is some parts of it that do not reflect Western values as much. But we shouldn't just shut those people out of our country. Should we be more cautious of them? I don't think so either. We should let them assimilate into the United States. Bring over their custom, bring over their food, but also make them know that this country is founded off what the founding fathers laid out in the Constitution. Right? So I think that many people on the conservative side are ignorant to what these immigrants have gone through and what they believe in. They lived a different life than you have. So why are you going to judge them based on the values that we have? They're not going to share the same values as us. We should try to make them start believing in the values of us if they want to assimilate over here in the United States. But when they come over here and start acting the way they'd act in their own country, what would you expect? When there is no citizenship process, when there is no assimilation process, when you straight can just make your own colony over here in the United States, right? And we become ignorant to the fact that these people have a completely different way of life than us. It's gray. It's not right or wrong. For what we believe is wrong, they believe is right. And we judge them based on what we believe. And that is ignorant. Take this for example. Do you remember the Malaysian Airlines flight that disappeared. I'm not going to get into the whole disappearance thing, obviously, but I want to bring up something about the pilot. Now, the pilot had been experiencing marriage troubles, and I believe had divorced his wife before, or like a little bit before the flight had took off, right? And that's because he had multiple wives. Now, over here in the West, we were like, what? Sorry, maybe not multiple wives, but multiple women, right? Over here in the West, we see that as wrong, right? Because, well, we believe it's wrong. But over there, I mean, there was a study in Indonesia where most women think it's fine for a man to have multiple wives or multiple spouses, right? For us, that's crazy. But for them, that's normal, right? But we're going to judge them based on what we believe? No. That's just ignorant and stupid. In the United States, we become spoiled with the rich life that we are able to have. Does everybody over here have it good? No. There is very much people who have it rough out here in the United States. But if you look at many other countries around the world, we have it really, really good. So we become soft to the fact that life out there in the other side of the world is not sweet. And we, over here in the West, become soft. We allow all these things to happen, right? We think that we have the moral high ground, but it's only because we are more developed and advanced than the rest of the world. Tribes, being more military minded or being more violent minded is the way of survival in many other countries because that's the only way you live. Over here in the West, we don't have to deal with that. So when these people come over here and kind of act that way and we're surprised, we don't know what they went through. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's okay. But we got to understand what these people are coming from. My family escaped very harsh things when they immigrated over here to the United States. And that made them really, really hard workers. And in fact, they outworked many of the other Americans, right, that have been here for a while. And they outworked them because that's all they knew. They had not been softened by the United States. They had not been softened by the comfort the United States brought. They had been built up by the horrible world they used to live in. And that's what made my family super, super strong. And we did not become ignorant to the hard work, though. We still have to work hard because we know that any second it can go away. And over here in United States politics, we have stuff about gun control. We have stuff about abortion, right? And we think the other side is completely wrong. And that side thinks we're completely wrong, right? It's not right. There should be a better argument held towards these things, but we got to realize people who want gun control are probably people who have experienced gun violence in a horrible, horrible way, right? And they want to see that ended. That's good. That's fine. But should we have gun control? Should we have more stricter? No. Abortion, another thing. Many people have gone through the horrors of rape and whatnot and stuff like that, which is horrible. And obviously, I understand why they don't want a baby, right? And we have to realize and come to terms and understand why people believe in this way, than just going, oh, you believe in killing babies? Oh, you want to take away my rights? We have to be more accepting of other people's thoughts, right? Do we have to agree with them? No. And some thoughts should not be tolerated, I think, like, wanting to be a Nazi or wanting to have communism. Let's just be honest now. But we have to just have fine and good conversation with other people, really. We are all Americans. We all experience the same stuff that's going on. Every American is affected by gun violence. Every American is affected by immigration. Every American is affected by this stuff. We are all the same in this fact. So why don't we start acting like it? Why don't we start realizing that life is complicated. Everybody else's life is complicated. And instead of arguing with each other, instead of thinking that we're right, take a step back and realize we're naive. We're naive to the rest of the world. We're naive to the people's backgrounds. We're naive to even the littlest things in the world. How about we come to each other with more grace, more love, and try to work this out like that? Is there always going to be violent people? Is there always going to be bad people? Yes, there always will be. That's just how it is. But that's only a small, small fraction of the world. Let's love each other more instead of hate. Thank you. I also wanted to add something at the end of this video to just kind of clarify some points. I don't think we should affirm every single belief, right? I don't think we should affirm every feeling somebody has. But what I think we should do is come at that with more grace and come at those beliefs with more love than immediately hate. Try to understand why people are feeling this way. Try to understand why people want to do this thing, right? Especially as Christians, when we are talking with or talking to trans people or gay people, and realize that we do not hate them. We do not despise them. Are they sinning? Yes. Do we sin every day? Yes. That's why we have Jesus Christ, right? And I think we should also look at these people and go, why? What is the root cause of this? Is there anything that's going on in your life? Do you have something going on? Just like how we would be like, oh, I'm sad. What's going on in my life? What have I done that's made me sad, that's made me feel bad? And come at it with more grace and come at it with more love. Love will solve everything. Also with people who don't like Christians, right? People who don't like us. Again, come at them with love and grace. It might be hard, it might be difficult, but if we just argue back, if we just talk back, then what's good? What good does that do? What good does that do? Again, just love these people because we are all the same. We are all equal. Doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter who you are. We are all equal people. We all have equal value in life. And once you start seeing yourself as other people, you'll realize that these people, everybody needs help. We all need help, right? We all need stuff going on. If we, as long as we're there for people, I mean, yes, we should be fine. And again, my goal with this video is not to convict people. It's not to preach to people. It is not to shame people. And I'm just telling this to also tell myself every day, just to come at people with love and come at people with grace, because that is ultimately what's going to save this world. It's ultimately going to save this country. We will always have disagreements. We will always have, some arguments, but we have to realize that everything in life is gray. Most things in life are gray. It lives in a gray zone between black and white, between right and what's wrong. Yeah, everything's situational, contextual, and complex. And once we start realizing like that, we can start learning to respect other people, learning to just be around other people. And even though we disagree with them, still love them, because love will solve everything.